Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're reacting to why Wilt Chamberlain believes he is greater than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I know y'all Jordan fans don't like it when people proclaim themselves the GOAT. And I have a feeling this is what Wilt's saying here, man, because most people consider MJ the GOAT. Wilt says he's greater than him. That sounds to me like he thinks he's the GOAT. I just did my first reaction on Wilt Chamberlain's highlights. I didn't think they were going to be that good, man. Like, I'm thinking the 60s. I'm a Gen Z kid. All I ever hear about the 60s is they were, like, not even close to being good. But homie had, like, quite the package out there offensively and quite a bit defensively as well. So let's check out why Wilt Chamberlain is greater than Michael Jeffrey Jordan, according to himself.
He asked Michael Jordan a few months ago. He said, Michael, now don't be, shy and don't be this and don't be that. Are you the best basketball player that ever played? And Michael said, yes, I am.
Michael Jordan and you, for a while, went back and forth.
Yeah, he's at a different level of celebrity, isn't he? Only because of the different kinds of media exposure that he's been given. If the two of you were in a room together, where do you think your conversation would focus, the two of you?
Well, first,
We're at the NBA's all-time team celebration, Cleveland, 1997. And over in the corner is Wilt and Michael Jordan. And they're sitting at a table arguing vociferously as to who the greatest player of all time was. And they're back and forth. And it's just intense as can be.
What I would give to listen to that conversation.
Hey, does it steam you that Michael Jordan gets paid so much, and you were 10 times the player he is, and you never got that kind of big money?
Do you ever say to yourself, am I better than, do you consider yourself?
Yeah, is he better than you were?
It bothers you when people talk about him as being the greatest player of all time.
well, it bothers me because we all have our opinions, and I don't think that, commensurate with what he's doing, what he's done, and how the game is going today, that he's better than a number of people.
I contend Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player who ever lived. I would put you number 2, only because you only won 2 championships. Now, people are going to say, well, you know what, he had a lot of stats and this and that. You won 2 world championships, okay?
I have a friend of mine who I talk to about once a week. You know what he says about Michael's 4 championships? He doesn't say anything about it. Because he has 11.
Bill Russell.
I don't think, you can predicate how great a guy really is or because he has championships. There's a lot of guys on those championship teams who've done nothing.
The greatest scorer of all time?
Okay, so Wilt's argument is Bill has 11. At the time, MJ had 4. So championships aren't really what matters because he only had 2.
Not even. Would you even give him that?
Well, you see, what people don't remember was that my first 7 years, I scored a lot of points. Then I stopped scoring on my own volition. I tried to do other things. I was asked to do other things, and that's what I did. So if I had continued to score, I would probably be averaging 40 points for my whole lifetime. Does that make me the best scorer? I really don't know. But one thing I do know, that all the years while I was usually scoring all those points, I was leading the league in percentile shooting. And that's also important because if you take all the shots, then you should be making the highest percentage.
Dang.
So
okay. So Wilt led the NBA in field goal percentage 10 out of 14 seasons, which is actually kind of crazy. But he is a big man, so I'm imagining he had a lot more opportunities at the rim than MJ did.
Making the highest percentage.
Jordan's highest field goal percentage placing was 10th. All right, so he was usually leading the league in scoring, but he was 10th at his best field goal percentage-wise. There's a lot of big men, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the shooting guard, I'm sure he was way more efficient than most other players, but I feel like the shooting guard center comparison is kind of tough to really justify there.
So when they compare me with Michael's averaging 31 points for his lifetime. I averaged about 30 points for a lifetime. But I stopped scoring.
I know that basketball is a team game,
Right.
and you've already made Michael number 1. But if you had to have Wilt against Michael, my prime and his prime, how much money would you be willing to bet?
I would probably bet all of my money on Michael Jordan. Also, the fact that Wilt averaged 50 one year and MJ still has a higher points per game average than him is just like kind of mind-boggling.
Wow.
He's 6'7" and he's like 197 pounds. Coming into what we call our domain, the pivot for us big guys, would not have been very wise of Michael, if he was playing during our time. So we would say, Michael, you know, as long as you do all those fancy things outside of where we are, that's fine.
You think you could have beaten Michael in your prime? He would take you outside. He'd shoot from the three-point arc. Then you try to come out and get him, he'd dribble around you.
I run 109.5, 100 meters, around 10.2 in that area. 52 vertical.
A 50-inch vertical jump, by the way.
I mean, I will give this to Wilt. He has a higher vertical than Michael, which is pretty shocking. And he is a great athlete. So I don't know if that person's argument is that, oh, MJ would just be more of a perimeter player against you. And then when you go out to the perimeter, he would beat you to the basket. I don't know if he would, man. With Wilt's wingspan, vertical, and athleticism, I don't know that MJ would.
Wait, what's Michael Jordan's vertical jump? Do we know?
I don't think it's quite that high.
Not as high.
No. Bench press almost 600 pounds. Michael would probably be going.
Wait a minute, 600 pounds?
600 pounds.
You think he'd have been crushed, is what you're saying?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, dude. Right
Wait
here.
a minute, 600 pounds?
600 pounds.
He kind of making Shaq look a little small.
You think
he looks bigger than both of these guys?
he'd have been crushed, is what you're saying?
I don't think. I know you've been crushed. Right, yeah. So it wouldn't have been good for Michael.
I came into the NBA and destroyed it. My tools were so dominant that they frightened people.
You were Jordan before Jordan. Yes?
Yeah, well, you know, I don't even like to say Jordan before Jordan, because Jordan, you know, Jordan's come behind a whole lot of us, as far as I'm concerned.
Wilt, who always has the last word in everything, Wilt looked down at Michael and said,
Michael, until you are so great that they start changing the game to stop your greatness, then I don't think you have a right to make that accolades in that particular way.
So how did they change the game for Wilt? I gotta look that up. How did the NBA change the game to stop Wilt? Four rule okay. NBA made several sweeping rule changes to curb Wilt Chamberlain's unprecedented size, leaping ability, and scoring dominance. These adjustments were specifically designed to push him farther away from the basket and prevent him from turning free throws and passes into automatic dunks. They widened the lane. They created free throw violations. They did offensive goaltending and inbounding over the backboard. Wow. I get what he's saying, man. Like, he's like, I was so good at the game that they changed the game to make it more fair for everybody else. Now with Jordan, I know there were some changes with the three-point line. I don't think that had anything to do with him. I know current day people have been saying, because of Steph Curry, maybe we should change something so three-point shooting and like all the three-point shooting dominance that has happened, maybe we should change a little something so that I don't know, it's more fair for like other aspects of the game, and the game isn't just 50% three-point shooting the entire time. But all right, well, I think he puts a good argument forward in saying I was bigger, stronger, more athletic, had a higher vertical. I could do more than he could because of his size and like the whole sheer of his abilities. But skill set, I mean, I think there's physical dominance like Wilt, his height, his everything. And then I think there's this sheer skill set, which is Michael Jordan. To say that him and Bill Russell and the bigs of the 60s were so dominant, Jordan could get crushed, that's about as stupid as people now saying that LeBron couldn't play in the 90s because he would get crushed. Players find a way, dude. Like, y'all had some really scrawny white guys playing back in the 60s, and they were still trying to get to the basket on you. It's not like you were crushing them that much. So, I don't know. I think the whole era comparison is kind of weird. I think it's a little weird, the efforts Wilt has made to try to uplift himself when people don't even think he was the best player of his era. Like, most people think Bill Russell was better, right? Let me see what AI has to say. Who was better, Wilt or... Yeah, let's just look up Wilt or Kareem real quick. Kareem is generally considered a better basketball player. Wilt or Bill? Because I know that they all overlapped at some point. Okay, this one depends. Individual statistical dominance or unparalleled championship success. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that Bill Russell just had the better team, so they won more. But either way, man, I'm curious to what y'all think. Some of y'all here who've been watching definitely saw Wilt's career. Because some of y'all told me how long ago y'all started watching. So, in your opinion, to anyone in the comments, who's better, Wilt or Michael? Do you give Wilt any kind of respect for his argument, or do you think it's all ridiculous in and of itself? Let me know what y'all think. I still got Jordan as the GOAT over Wilt, but I am liking Wilt's mentality. I like his willingness to try to fight for that title. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you have a great day, night, whatever time of day it is for you. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Doses.